Well, here I am on my last day, and I'm trying to make a little message to say goodbye and thank you to everybody. I have loved my time at Cleve, and I'm very proud of what I've been able to achieve here. Um, just, just to say a few words about Cleve and what I feel is the thing that drama has added, and I just want to make sure that you know how the kids here have just really made it what they have made it. They have made it this. Um, I came here 2005, as you say, from the Ladies' College. Prior to that, of course, I'd been living abroad in Oman and Dubai and Spain and America, where I'd been working as a musician. I'd previously worked in the theatre as assistant stage manager at Prince of Wales Theatre in Colwyn Bay, which is where Alwyn Richards was also at this there in the same time as me. I was in, I didn't know anything. It's great to think that our paths crossed. And so I was actually playing guitar in the local pub as well, making more money while I was working, doing rep seasons in the theatre. And Alwyn says he thinks he remembers seeing me, but who knows? It's one of those things where you look back at it and you create. I mean, I'd got a 2-1 degree from Leeds University at Bretton Hall, and a lot of my friends had gone on to be quite successful, And I never had the guts to do the acting thing. I'd never wanted to, and I enjoyed music more. And I really just liked working in the theatre and working as a musician, kind of. But then the offers came to be a musician abroad, and so I took it. I was in my 20s. Why not? Loved it. And then when I came back then to do teaching, I wasn't really aware of what the subject would be like in schools. All I remember is that when I was in school, it was extracurricular and it was fun, and I was the one that was, learning all the lines and being in all the shows. We used to do Gilbert and Sullivan, and I loved that. I loved it. In fact, the learning process for me in drama was the way I'd learnt it, because it was just I think it was an English teacher that used to do it in our school, and he used to sort of do a few shows, and they'd have the orchestra for the music, and that whole experience of doing amateur dramatics and doing school shows. It's a melting pot of learning that teaches you what you want to get from it. It's the environment of that teaches you, and it's that I've wanted to create. And that's why I'm sure I've been so frustrating to my oversight. Laura Cole is my oversight. There were times when I was getting really good results that had some kind of like +1, 3 or whatever, +2, and all. I said, I don't even know what does that mean? I don't even know what that means. And I used to say, how do you know that kid was going to do that? Why is it that kid should do that? And why am I being told that that's success for me? Of course, the irony of that is, of course, in a few years back when we had it the other way around, it becomes a judgment on the other way. Why weren't the kids achieving this when you're saying they do it? And I swear I've tried and tried and tried to see that, but I just cannot do it in my subject. I can't. There are too many beautiful variations that happen within this subject that allow for surprises, that allow for disappointments, and that allow, I have to say in my subject, for things that they learn beyond what they do in the GCSE. The GCSE for my subject has always been a game that I don't trust from AQA. It's always a bit of like, well, we'll assess that side. How do we assess? What should we assess? Their face, their voice, and their gestures. We'll assess their, oh no. Can you imagine standing on the side of a stage and your focus is your criteria? And I try it a few times and I say, look at your criteria and walk on stage. No, it just doesn't work for me as a teacher. The audience are your criteria and the show is your criteria. And that's why, and the students nowadays, for me, they seem to need this scaffolding of, well, what's the AO and what's the, and I just want to say, don't think about that. Don't think about that. Think about what you're performing. Think about what you're doing. And I find it so difficult for them to do that. And I'm sure we all find that in our subjects, that actually there's the enjoyment of just having young people experience your subject in their way, and that is not assessed. That is not, unfortunately, rewarded, and it is a real shame. Cleve, just fantastic shows, and we've had so many people helping as well. So I did that first show all on my own. We got this set up with me and Phil, that I'd kind of nicked Phil from the Everyman Theatre. He came and worked with me. Phil Langham, big, tall, thin guy that was actually based underneath the stage when he started. And then he eventually moved in the office with us. And we made sets. We got all the other sets from the bespoke auctions. We've just got all of this. We gathered everything. As I say, the £15,000 for this build. We've got the seating second hand from Glosscat. It cost us a couple of grand to move it. That little box up there we had created for another £4,000. You know, we did things reasonably on the cheap, but we did it well enough for a school, because we knew that it wasn't going to be lit, as they say in the theatre, every night. It was going to be dark, as they say in the theatre, for a long time. So it's not a fully sustainable theatre. It's a school, but with all the experience of it being a theatre. And that really is what I hope they've had, without it being too down the avant-garde route as well, because I'd worked in the theatre as well. I think that the students here have enjoyed that it's just performing and doing plays and having a bit of fun with comedy, or with Beckett and Pinter. And AQA used to love, I mean, Sue Fielder, who's the chief examiner of AQA, always used to request to come here because she really liked us and liked this work we did here. And she was pleased that the quality of stuff that we could do. I can tell you that. I know that for sure, because I spoke to her many times about it. Yeah, I think Cleve has just been a lovely experience for me. I really hope really nice what Claire was saying about single-handedly. I feel like I've had a lot of help, but obviously I have been very much on my own. I quite like that. I've quite liked the fact that, maybe I'm a bit scruffy, but I tell you, I know where all these things are. And maybe I do fall asleep occasionally. It's because I listen like this. You see, I try to listen with my eyes closed, and sometimes that sets me off. I know, I've been told that. And yeah, I have sometimes been playing the guitar in the music room and forgotten that I was meant to be on duty or cover. I've not very often. It's just that the laptop. I mean, again, it's another example, isn't it? Oh, crikey, better do the register. Because the laptop was always in the office. And really, I'm just standing in. The kids are coming in. And I got that from the ladies' college, really, because the kids ran into drama from Latin. And that was really the sense of fun that they had there for drama was really important. And I want to keep that. I've always wanted to keep that. So yes, I've been supportive and done all that. I have got loads of stories, but I'm going to Oman, which is where I used to work. I used to work there a long time ago. I've flown over the desert of Oman in the back of a Hercules plane with the back open, because the RAF were there just after 9/11. They were taking us out to some secret air bases out there, which were the American air bases. And as musicians, we knew all the military guys that were selling some missile. So I've lived there before, and I know what they're like. It's lovely, lovely people, lovely atmosphere. I think it's kind of like a bit of a Welsh thing. I'm not Welsh. I'm English. I was born on the Isle of Wight because Dad was a drummer working on the Isle of Wight. He used to work for comedians like Ken Dodd, and as well as working with the London Symphony Orchestra. And so we ended up in all these different places wherever the latest gig was. That's why we ended up in North Wales. My mom is originally Welsh, but just really felt that Oman is very similar in atmosphere to that. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to be working with all the locals rather than the rich expats that can sort of afford, mind you, the locals can afford the schools as well. And I'll be starting from scratch again, which is which is lovely. That's exactly what I wanted. I'm at that age where I do think, how much more can I give? And I know that sounds really, I've heard other teachers say that, and I've never really fully understood, because I've actually really enjoyed teaching drama. And up until, I'd say, the last couple of years, when the COVID thing and everything, I've always felt that I've had enough to give. Lately, I have started to think, wow, I couldn't do this till I'm 65, 70, or whatever it is meant to be. I couldn't do it with the same energy. I have to do it with a different kind of feel. Only because I've landed myself with this stupid, enthusiastic, keen and supportive teacher. I wish I could have made myself into another teacher, which would be a bit more still and calm and like, let's just do this, please. Because we make our persona, don't we, in front of the kids. And maybe I'll try that in Oman, hey? Do you think I'll be able to do it? Nah, but let's see. Just to say thank you, and thanks for everything. I am. Please, please, please keep in touch. Anything, LinkedIn, Facebook, whatever. Find me, Brinley Thomas. Remember, Bryn is just short. I was going to try and tell you loads of stories, but it's long enough, isn't it? I just felt like I needed to do it. I've recorded a little song. Very drama, isn't it? I recorded a little song for you all to have a laugh at, hopefully. And keep in touch. And good luck. Please, please knock on the door. Say hello to Mrs. Jones. She's going to be great. She's going to give a completely new drama department, and that's what it needs. Okay, so she's going to do what she wants. She's actually going to change the curriculum as well, which I think is a good idea. I've spoken to her about it. So, she's lovely, and she'll have a lot on her plate as well, because she'll be doing Key Stage 3. Yes. Hey, brilliant. Anyway, thank you, Cleve. Thank you, everybody. No regrets. No, I really do feel it's took its natural course in the world and the universe. Just I haven't had a say in what's happened to me over the last a year maybe. It's just the universe is just telling me. I don't believe in much, but it seems to be written. It reminds me. I'll tell you what. I'll end with a little story about that. So, when I didn't go to university at first from school in John Bright's in Llandudno. I remember because I was religious. Oh God, I went through a religious phase, and I thought I was going to be a vicar, and God was going to tell me what to do. And I was just going to study the Bible. But of course, actually studying A-level RI, I used to argue with the Methodist vicar, because he used to say all these things like, Moses banged the rock, and that was a common way for farmers to discover the area where they had hidden their spring water. And I used to go, no, that was a miracle. That was a miracle. And he used to try and convince me of the factual elements of the Bible. So I basically lost my faith. And then I was sat there thinking, oh my God, what am I going to do? And I ended up working before the theatre in the Golden Goose Arcade. I'll remember this. The Golden Goose Arcade on the pier. So I used to walk up and down Llandudno Pier, painting the pier, which is like an all-time job. Working in the Goose with a set of keys, so that when the money that went in got jammed, I would have to open it up. Oh my God! I have to look back now and I think, thank God I got out. And I said to my mum, I think I've made a mistake staying. I think I should have gone to uni. All my friends have gone. And she was like, well, what would you do? Because I'd only done English, and as I say, there wasn't theatre. So I've acted, and I, seeing maybe I could do theatre. They do it at a university. So I found one brochure in the library in Llandudno for a place which was Leeds University, Bretton Hall. One. And I thought, oh, look at that. I thought, well, I'll say my last prayer. This is going to make you laugh. I'll say my last prayer. I say, God, I don't think you exist, but if you do, give me a sign. So I was walking into work to the Golden Goose Arcade, and the sign fell on my head. And it knocked me right there, and they were all panicking. They took me to hospital. I had to have an injection in my bum, and they were all panicking, trying to be nice to me because they didn't want me to sue the place. And when I got back, the sign said Golden Ose, and go had fallen on my head. And that is what I'm doing now, I think. I'm going. Thank you very much. Bye.